Okay, that was weird. My net worth was higher than I expected. I thought I lost more money. Exercise, yeah, do it. It's good for you. What's up, everyone? I am Intristang, and I retired in 2021 to travel and eat full time. Today, I'm gonna be doing my April recap, sharing what we were up to and where we were. If you enjoy this video, consider liking or commenting. And if you wanna see more videos like this or see where I go next, consider subscribing. So I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff we did in April, so feel free to use the video chapters below to skip around. I'll be talking about where we were, what we did, where we're going next, monthly finances on the spend side, on the portfolio side. So feel free to watch the whole video, but if you want to just jump around, use the video chapters. So where were we in April 2022? We spent the bulk of this month in Guadalajara, and you will slowly start seeing those videos trickle in on Saturdays for the vlogs. If you want to see tacos and cocktails, that's your best bet. So outside of Guadalajara, we spent time in LA, Fresno, and San Francisco. More on all that below. What did we do in April? So we lived in Guadalajara for a month. Part of that was in April, part of that was in March. And I love saying lived because a lot of people get polarized and angry about that. So, you know, we spent a month from there living, working, filming, etc. And I enjoyed it. In addition to that, my mom was able to visit while we were there. So we got to spend 4-ish days there, kind of like eating, drinking, and showing her different neighborhoods. We went to a baby shower in Tustin, which I didn't know was gonna be on the docket, but got to meet more of Yoonji's high school friends. And the highlight of this baby shower was they had Portos. Like, who's not getting excited about Cuban baked goodies? We also had a soju-filled sushi Easter dinner, so that was a very fun, yummy meal. Soju and sushi, my friends. And then after that, the next day, we went to Yoonji's cousin and her boyfriend's house for Donabe. Wait for a separate video explaining what that is, but it's like a Japanese hot pot cooked in like specific earthenware, and it was delicious. Highlight of that meal were these like oysters from Pacific Northwest in this broth. It was like incredible. And then lastly, we just got back yesterday from a weekend in San Francisco, so getting to catch up with friends. Some of our best friends just moved into a new place in the Mission, so spending their weekend helping them celebrate their housewarming. Then we were able to see some friends Friday and get to see some friends Sunday morning for a little brunch, but always nice to spend time in San Francisco with friends. That's where I lived for 7 years before this whole YouTube thing. And during the month of April, I read 3 books. Jury's out on how you feel about that. I usually average like in the 4 to 5 range. I try to read like 50 books a year, so I read 3 books. I reread Dune for the second time because I read it in 2020 in PV ahead of the movie, and then we forgot to watch the movie last year, so I wanted to reread it. We still haven't seen the movie. Plan is to watch it tonight. And then after that, I read Better Off Dead. It is a Jack Reacher book. I think the original author, like Lee Child, is writing them with his son. This book was not good, but it killed time. And you know, if you're familiar with Jack Reacher, it was a Jack Reacher book. And then the 3rd book I read was Dune Messiah. So it's the 2nd book in the Dune Chronicles. It was much shorter. It was like 1/3 of the length, or you know, 1/3 to 40% of the length of Dune. If you're into Dune, I highly suggest continuing with book 2. And that's a good segue. Right now I'm reading Tiamat's Wrath. That is the 8th book in the Expanse series. If you're familiar with the show on Sci-Fi, Amazon Prime acquired that, but this book series is fantastic. And after this, I will be reading Dune 3, Children of Dune. Let me know what you guys are reading. I love to share book recs. I am also on Goodreads if you care. And in the month of April, I published 8 videos, probably not surprisingly, because I published 2 a week. There will probably be the odd month where there's 7 or 9. That's TMI. But the best video, or my favorite video, was hitting 1,000 subscribers. So that was actually the first video of this month. So again, thank you all to the subscribers and returning viewers and commenters and everyone. That was an awesome video. And then the second video I wanted to call out was the Pujol one. I was waiting to edit this for so long, and I'm really happy with the video. I love watching that video to just like see the food again, and the drinks were like phenomenal. So if you want to check either of those out, I'll plug those up here. The rest of the month was kind of a mix of Playa del Carmen and Mexico City vlogs. Not sure if everyone knows this, I have a blog. I have not been writing on it, so I wrote a grand total of 0 posts, but I do plan to start getting back into my blog, and these monthly recaps will be one of them. I'm just gonna do like one post a week. But yeah, intristang.com if you ever want to check that out, but more to come there later. April was a good food month, so I ate 5 different torta ahogadas. Keep your eyes open for that video where I'm just gonna like compare and show 5 different, you know, soaked sandwiches in Guadalajara. That's what the Jaliscan region's known for. So I was excited to eat those, but I'm also excited to share that video upcoming. I think I found my favorite bakery in Mexico. It's called Carmele in Guadalajara. They do like their own riff on a Kunaman. The coffee was fantastic. Their quiche was good. Their sandwiches were good. Like their croissant was good. Their almond croissant was like the best almond croissant I've ever had. So that was fantastic. I fell in love with barbacoa again. Like every time I have barbacoa, I'm like, why am I not eating this? Like birria is getting all the hype in the US right now, or California at least, but barbacoa is incredible. I feel like I drank like a king in Guadalajara. Their craft beer scene, I think, is better than Mexico City. And then some of the cocktail bars there, and you'll see that as we go. The cocktail scene in Guadalajara, the bar scene in general is just very, very good. What a perfect segue from food to exercise. So I had a perfect month. I wear an Apple Watch, so hit my goal every day because I'm insane. I did 17 workouts, but some of those are walks and stuff. That's why we're throwing the air quotes. And I did 5 runs. So I always take running shoes on trips, and we just don't run in Mexico. In Mexico City, the air quality was like killing me and my heart rate would just be dead all day. In Guadalajara, I don't even think I tried. As soon as we got back to LA and Fresno, I've been running. I love the trail running out in Fresno. That's probably TMI, but fun, exercise. Yeah, do it. It's good for you. Learning. So for learning, I'd say the big thing, and I'd love to share this with you. I'm trying to share this with my friends on Instagram. I have gotten back on Twitter. It doesn't have to do anything with Elon Musk buying it, but I guess like the buzz around that kind of got me to like think about Twitter again. So I'm on Twitter, and the reason I think that might matter to you is I think Twitter is fantastic for anyone interested in FIRE, which is financial independence, retire early retirement, investing, budgeting. Like there's a very active community on Twitter, and all the big FIRE bloggers I really like to follow like are very active. They'll respond, and there's like lots of people. So if anyone's interested in like that kind of personal finance, investing, early retirement, financial independence thing, I suggest Twitter. And then I did some DIY learning on taxes. So whether that was like learning more about Schedule C stuff or learning about adjusted cost basis for ISOs and RSUs, that was my big learning takeaway for the month. And then language. So for language, I was, dabbling, vacillating on learning more Spanish. I think that's gonna get put on the back burner as we are not gonna be in Mexico for a little bit. And then anytime I'm in LA, I gotta turn the Korean brain on and try to pick up the words and phrases and learn a few new things. So that was that. Talk about where we're going at the end of this video next, but in 2 weeks we're going somewhere, and I will be dabbling and learning a few phrases, just like polite stuff like thank you, please, sorry, beer, count to 3, that type of thing. But as someone who's doesn't live anywhere, you gotta keep flexing the non-English muscle. Okay, that was weird. Okay, so money and finances, if you saw the thumbnail, if you came for that, this is where I'm actually gonna talk about stuff. So portfolio, then we'll talk about spend. So I logged into Personal Capital for the first time this year because I've been terrified because the market looks like that. Personal Capital, if you're not familiar with it, it is something you can aggregate all your finances into. So if you want to put like your 401k, your checking, your brokerage, or you can use them, it's not going to get me any money. So I use it. Anyways, I logged in to see how I did in April purely for this video. And yes, I did lose $129,425. And I put that in quotes because it's a paper loss. If I sold everything today, yes, I would realize that loss, but things will come back. I'm not saying they're gonna come back in May. I'm not saying things are gonna come back in 2022, but things will eventually come back. The bulk of my portfolio is in VTI, which we can talk about another time. And I do have a lot of individual stocks and tech ETFs. Talk about that in another video. Leave a comment if you have any questions about that. My net worth was higher than I expected, and it was higher than, I thought I lost more money. It wasn't like, oh my God, that's so high. It was like, oh, I'm not as screwed as I thought. So that was positive, but I don't want to see it go much lower. And I hope things start picking up. I did buy more VTI this month, both at $209 and $205 roughly. So I don't have a lot of cash, but I do believe these are good price levels, and I'm happy to pay that. In terms of spend, and you'll see some cost of living things coming out, and in the future, I'll just do more to go deeper in this, but in the month of April, we spent $1,294.52. That was for both of us, and that was out of a $2,500 budget. The reason why that was so low is we only spent half the month away in Guadalajara, so we were only paying rent for half that. I will be doing a Guadalajara cost of living video to give you an idea of how much it costs to live, visit, or work remote or digitally from there, but this just gives you an idea of our spend. That leaves us with where to next. So I alluded to this, we are flying to Dubrovnik in 2 weeks. We'll be there for 1 week before heading to Montenegro, and then we're doing this whole kind of like 3-month and change-ish Europe trip. That is why there will be a travel pants video, also because travel pants are necessary, but we will be out in Europe where you will be seeing vlogs, cost of living, first impressions, all sorts of stuff. So please let me know what you thought about this video. If you made it this far, let me know that too, but let me know what categories, like what aspects of this video you were most interested in. Let me know if you're like, I never need to know about your exercise. Let me know what was good, what was bad, what was ugly. I'm planning to do these once a month, that first Wednesday after the new month, or the first Wednesday after the previous month ends. So any feedback would be great. Peeling the veil so you can know more about me rather than just see me eat tacos and drink beer, but that's never gonna stop. Well, I don't think I'll eat a lot of tacos this summer, but you know what I mean. But thanks so much for hanging out. As usual, thanks for supporting the channel. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see, and we will continue these like experimental new types of videos every Wednesday. See you soon. See you this Saturday with a vlog.